So we're here in Morocco shooting the last 2 episodes of Homeland Season 3. The entire season has really favored Carrie and Saul's story, and Brody has been absent for a lot of it. And one of the reasons is that there really is only one movement left in Brody's life, and that's the chance to redeem himself.
The last 8-9 years of his life has really been a personal disaster, has been a tragedy. And so, for very personal reasons, I think he comes back to Iran to atone in some way for the things that he's done.
If you thought about where Brody could actually have a life, the one place we thought he could have a life was in Iran, where a lot of al-Qaeda people have taken refuge and have sought political asylum there.
This is the only place in the world that I can find peace.
And then we thought, well, if Brody could actually get into Iran as the Langley bomber, what might he accomplish when he's there?
Brody is in Iran in order to assassinate the head of the IRGC, which is incredibly precarious, and Carrie is very personally and deeply motivated to make sure that Brody is able to get out alive.
So that's why Brody's here, that's why Carrie's here, and that's why we're in Morocco.
You have come to visit me in Rabat, which for those who don't know is in Morocco, which for those who don't know that is in North Africa.
As we've done in previous seasons, we like to come to the real place to do this stuff. And so we were searching in Israel, possibly Istanbul, and wound up in Morocco for a place to shoot Tehran. Obviously, we can't get into Iran, so we came to this place, and it's been actually fantastic. Morocco has treated us well.
Morocco is, very liberal and actually quite European and Western in a lot of ways, but there is that Arab influence, which has been really wonderful to get a sense of.
And one of the things we were able to do is find all the different looks and locations here in Morocco.
Such as the lavish palaces and the government buildings and the historic jails. We even managed to find a beach town that doubled for the Mediterranean to shoot Saul and Mira's final scene.
There is no way to create this kind of mise en scène in San Diego or something, or Arizona even. The production value is outstanding, and I think it's going to be really visually thrilling. So I'm excited to share that with audiences.
One of the things with working in Morocco, we have a crew that speaks 7 different languages.
Everyone speaks French, but it's essentially an Arab and Berber country. So everyone's speaking Arabic as well?
We have some German, we have Hebrew.
Shalom, Hatufim babayit, shalom.
We have some Spanish, English. So yeah, it is Radio Free Europe here on the set of Homeland 312 in Morocco.
We also have a Farsi dialect coach.
Brody learned enough Farsi in 1 week to denounce us on state television.
There's nothing Arabic over there, so we're trying to make sure that everything's Farsi and everything looks correct.
But I'm told his delivery is pitch perfect.
Our Moroccan AD, he was telling us that in Arabic, when he's talking to the extras, it sounds like he's yelling at them and he's angry. But he said that's just how Arabic sounds, so don't worry about it. He loves them.
I call it Frerabic because I can hear them on the radio. It'll be in French and then it goes right into Arabic.
Somehow it's all worked out and everyone really likes each other and they're excited to be on the show, but it's definitely got its challenges. He says get down.
Get down now?
Yeah, so you're on your knees.
Today we are in a farmhouse that's about 45 minutes east of Rabat, Morocco, and we're filming the scene where Brody and Carrie are together for, in fact, the final time.
This scene is one of the critical scenes of the story because this is the first time we really see Carrie and Brody together, where there's a little bit of safety and they actually get to talk about everything that has happened.
Brody actually completes the mission, but it has a deleterious effect on his emotional state.
You want to tell me what's going on with you?
I just took a man's life today, Carrie.
And he begins to understand that the idea of redemption for him is a bankrupt one. He's really in a low place, and Carrie tries to rescue him with this idea that she's actually carrying their child.
She isn't sure if she's going to reveal it to Brody. It's a great question, you know, what's the more compassionate thing to do in this circumstance? Do you tell a person who is potentially going to die that they're going to have a child? Is that reassuring, or is that crushing? You know, so, but I think ultimately she decides to tell him as a way to motivate him to live.
I'm pregnant.
What? I think in the madness of their lives, certainly for Brody, I just think in that moment he thinks that this is probably a little oasis of clarity for him, and that in all the craziness, this seems like something relatively normal.
At the end of the scene, you do feel like they have a chance of a life. We don't know what that life is going to be. We don't know how complicated it's going to be, but there's something, they will be able to have some kind of a life. You know, unfortunately, that's not what happens.
We really did know that Brody was going to die this season. We knew this was the last season.
I was in the basement bar at the Hay Adams Hotel in Washington, D.C., and I asked Alex Gansa, I said, I've got a lot of storage in North Carolina. Should I be taking it out or should I be leaving it? And he looked at me and he said, you should take it out.
How he was going to die was a big subject of debate up until, you know, I would say about a month ago. I mean, the idea that he could actually steal into Iran, kill this General Akbari, and get out alive felt one step too much for us to buy. So it just seemed logical that he would be caught, and he would be tried, and he would be strung up. And it was simple and clean and emotional.
He appeared this morning before a military tribunal where he was sentenced to death by hanging.
What?
All of us were incredibly ambivalent about having to say goodbye to Brody. I mean, nobody wanted to, but I also think we all accepted that the show needed to make this sacrifice in a way, you know, and arrive at this point in the storytelling. It's not a sloppy ending by any means. It's really very striking and hopefully very powerful ultimately.
There's a logic to it that's just right. It's sad and it's final, but it's the right ending to his story.
And of course, it's the biggest moment. It's the last time, obviously, that Brody's going to be a part of the show. And it's sad and melancholy and exciting all at once.
And here...
So tonight is our last night of filming for season 3, our last night of filming for episode 12, and unfortunately our last night of filming with Damian Lewis.
I feel like we're incredibly well planned. We have storyboarded it. We've talked about orders of shooting it, but we only have one night to shoot it.
If this were a feature, we'd shoot it in 5 nights, and then we'd come back and reshoot it again. So we have about 10 hours of night to get this whole sequence done.
Tonight we're gonna have 9 cameras. We have 3 Alexas, a Red Epic, a Canon 1DC, which is a newbie for us, a 5D Mark III, and 3 GoPros.
We're shooting in this square that is actually a big parking lot that's right across the street from the Moroccan Parliament. There are big blank walls where we're going to hang huge posters of religious leaders, anti-American slogans. We have a huge crane being brought in.
Rabat is a lot like Tehran. And, you know, with all the arts they put into the work with the posters and the cars and the license plates and the wardrobe, I'm sure that by the time the audience watches this, it's going to look quite like Tehran.
Makeup-wise, most of the research was dealing with the looks, particularly of the women and the military men of Iran. The men, for instance, have specific kinds of facial hair that they wear. They have a tendency to be very neatly cut, trimmed back very short. Some may even be trimmed down lower on the cheeks because there's a tradition of the women kissing the men on the cheeks. The women, the kohl on the eyes, of course. The women in Iran have a tendency these days to actually wear makeup. They don't all wear the veils or the full hijabs.
We're having 400 extras for the crowd, so that'll be a challenge just to maneuver everybody around.
You know, we have a limited crew, we can't see everyone, so what we do is paint with a large brush and try our best to hit, our featured extras, but we always have our eyes scanning. If anybody doesn't quite fit the picture, we might move them to the back. If somebody particularly fits the picture better than others, we might move them to the front.
The extras, the chanting of Allahu Akbar, the lighting, it's just everyone on the set tonight has a very intense energy. It's really amazing. We're feeling it.
So you stop, and if at any point it's uncomfortable, you just let us know that it's uncomfortable.
We are hanging Damian Lewis, and obviously that's a stunt that we have to be very careful.
So we're going to put Brody in harness, and a nice full body harness.
It's the hangman's harness of choice. I have enough children, it's fine.
It's both a harness around your waist, but also around your thighs. And then there are straps and stirrups that you stand in so that you're not carrying all the weight on your legs because you don't want to cut off the circulation to your legs. It's also something you don't want to hang anybody up there for too long. And the way they do it in Iran is they don't necessarily drop you. They pick you up and you slowly suffocate. You're not dying from a broken neck, you're dying from suffocation.
It's a slow process, it's horrendous, it's something I don't want to think about.
It's also incredibly emotional. It happens to be his death, but also his last scene as a character on this show, which is for everyone just, it's hard to even talk about.
The last 3 years has been just a remarkable and fascinating adventure.
Nobody wanted to stop working with Damian. We have become a real family, and the kind of rapport that we have and history that we have is so special.
The level of the work and the quality of the people working on the project has never been less than outstanding in all departments. I've definitely left a little bit of a family behind, and that's partly what's made it so fun.